Hello, everyone.
Hello there.
This week we came across some quotes from Brené Brown's book Daring Greatly. Um, and why we decided to talk about that, it is profound quotes because it has huge implications. But we find that we are confronted with the issues contained in the quotes
Mm,
on numerous occasions in our own lives, but also in conversations with other people.
mm,
It pops up regularly.
mm,
And we find ourselves struggling with issues and so on when this isn't addressed or we aren't aware
mm,
of the ways it plays out in
mm,
our
mm.
lives.
The issue that we're talking about is our sense of self-worth,
Mm,
or the lack of a feeling of self-worth,
mm,
and how that influences how we experience life and
mm.
relationships and circumstances, how we are able to handle crises and new things. It just has such a huge impact.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, and we see that so often in like George says, in our own lives, but also, yeah, in the lives of others. How it actually prevents us or keeps us from daring,
Yes,
even maybe just slightly daring. It's as
yes.
if we have this such a, um, a fear of failure, or of maybe the struggle that goes with. I think that's just the way it is. But we were actually made to be able to handle struggles. I mean, life
Mm,
was never meant, like they say, to be easy,
mm.
but it can be worth it.
Yes,
So, and by not having the sense that we are able to tackle something or do something, we are keeping ourselves from what she calls wholehearted living.
yes, yes. Because she makes a very close connection. The title of the book is Daring Greatly. And one can take it, yeah, be bold, be whatever
Be
you
reckless.
be reckless, but she ties it into a sense of self-worth.
Yeah, yeah. And owning who you are, owning your story,
Yeah.
um, and maybe even, yeah, and we'll get to that. Maybe looking at your story
Mm.
for the uh, false beliefs that maybe our childhood gave
Mm.
us about our own worth.
Mm.
But yeah,
Because
let's read it.
yeah, and the thing is, when we dare greatly, in general, we expand our lives because we live. Often we live such small lives.
Mm,
We don't live our dreams because somehow we bought into this idea that the only way to support our way of life is to have a 9 to 5 job or whatever, but it's not thinking wider than that,
mm.
that I'm capable of more, that I'm
Or that I'm
worthy.
even worthy of more.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So she ties it in very
Mm,
closely.
yeah. So the first one that we want to read is, she says, wholehearted living is about engaging in our lives from a place of worthiness.
Yeah.
It is so well put.
Mm.
And then the other two that goes along with that is, owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it.
Mm.
And then just following that, you either walk inside your story and own it, or you stand outside your story and hustle for your worthiness.
Mm. How would you describe hustling for your
I
worthiness?
think constantly trying to earn your worthiness,
Mm.
to like if we look at the Enneagram and all the different types, we all have a different way of trying to earn or hustle for our worthiness. The ones try to be perfect, the twos try to be needed by other people, and then they believe that that will make them love them.
The 3 wants to be successful.
Yes, and so we go on, and none of those things are bad in itself, but when it's tied into, or when it's an ego mechanism, that your ego is trying to by using that mechanism, trying to give you a sense of worthiness or of self-worth, then you are actually so vulnerable to influences from outside, because you don't come from a place where you truly believe in yourself, in what you believe in your own worth, and you can be thrown around by any wind that blows.
And in the process, while you were reading that and in our conversation, what comes to mind is something that Thomas Merton also once said. And the quote goes, "One can live your whole life without meeting the person who's living your life."
Yeah, yeah.
And when we don't have a sense of worthiness, it's almost as if we live one step back,
Yeah,
once removed
yeah,
from our own life.
yeah. And often we are holding ourselves back. We are living, like you say, a small life. We making ourselves small. We're not being all we can be, and that serves nobody.
Yeah, but because that first quote by Brené Brown that you read is, wholehearted living is about engaging in our lives. In other words, we very much determining our lives and the direction of our lives. So much of the way we live is living as if other people have a say in my life, is determining the direction, is determining what should be done next, or whatever.
Like we don't have any say.
We don't have any
We're
say.
victims in the.
We're victims.
Yeah.
We're victims.
Yeah.
We're victims in our own lives. And she says it's about engaging in your life.
Yeah, yeah. And then wholehearted living.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we get there? So that's always the thing. We can talk about this all day, but how do we go about it to get to a place of better self-worth? And I think a clue here is owning your story. Looking at your life, looking at your childhood, looking at what the messages were that you got or perceived to be the truth, and is it the truth? Really to dig into that. And then I think also owning your mistakes, owning your failures, because all of those things were part of your growth as well.
Yeah.
That equipped you to be able to handle things better. None of that, like we always say, everything is harvest. And if we own that, if we live from that place of that story, that's our story, we don't need to earn our worth.
Yeah, because it's also about finding out. Often we say to people, and it is a powerful exercise, and we've touched on this before. Most of what we are talking about is old
We're
news.
just repeating ourselves.
We're repeating
all the time.
ourselves because we constantly come back to the basics, because we don't tend to it. But one of the things that you truly have to answer honestly is, what do you love to do? What do you long to do? What's your passion?
And also, it's almost, you can also put it in the way that, what if you are doing that makes you forget about what other people think of you, what so it makes you forget about esteem.
Mm.
Y- it makes you feel uh, it makes you feel worthy doing it.
Yes.
It's like there's a certain um, texture to that feeling while you're busy
Mm.
doing it. You are not so much aware of our external circumstances.
Mm.
So
Mm.
they fall away in a sense, the influences. It feels true, it feels real. Those
Mm.
are all clues, I think, for the thing that you need to embrace. That's part of your story, that the way you were created.
Mm. And just by example, how often will we say, you know what, my dream is, or what I really would love to do is XYZ, but now there's no time, or I don't have the money at this stage,
I don't have the luxury
or I
to,
don't have the luxury to do
yeah.
that. When I retire, I'll tend to that or whatever. But that's not wholehearted living.
No. And I think it takes great courage, because there's such a lot that we don't know in doing that, in taking leaps, in believing in yourself so much that you actually say, I cannot I cannot not do this thing.
Mm.
I think sometimes it helps if you don't have a choice.
Yes,
It helps because you need to
yes,
give the next step,
yes.
and you can't stay where you are. And often life brings us to those places. And I think it's in doing that that we actually also discover that we are able to, and that it also builds our self-worth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you touch on the one issue, and it has a ripple effect right through everything, like a spider's web.
Mm,
Um, Everything attaches to everything.
mm,
Um, so that's why we constantly come back, because we touch on this and it flows into that. We hope it helps. It's always so good to have the feedback and the conversations flowing from this. But be sensitive this week, in what ways you are settling for less and giving up on dreams and living wholeheartedly.
mm. And maybe we'll dare to talk about daring next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep well on that side.
Goodbye.